Hello, welcome to video 2 of 3 of how to construct a square-to-square transition piece. In the previous video, we made the 3D wireframe of the main body. In this video, we will be converting that into a 3D solid, which is hollow and with a thickness. So in order to do that, first we must construct a pyramid, because this main piece has the general shape of a pyramid, except with the small triangles and the top cut off. So in order to construct the pyramid, we must first find the height. In order to do that, we'll first draw a line from the center point up higher than we know the pyramid will be. I'm just going to use 25 because I know that the pyramid will not be higher than 25. Now, we'll draw another line from the midpoint of one of the base square lines to the corner of one of the top square. Now we will use the scale tool to enlarge this line. Select the base point where the line intersects with the base square as the scaling point. Now I recommend using a scale factor which again, will make it intersect with that height. I'm going to use 5. So as we can now see, they are intersecting. Now using the trim tool, remove the top piece, remove the pieces that are not intersecting, remove everything above those. So now we know that this piece here is the height. We can now delete this and physically draw our pyramid now. Using the pyramid tool, and the center point being the base, the bottom point of the line that we drew, and the square, the large square, as our radius point, and the height as our physical height, we can now construct our pyramid. Now, if yours looks like mine right now, that means that you should change this section up here. Go into the Visualize tab, and in the center you'll see something that says 2D wireframe. Click on that and change it to I like conceptual. So now we can see this is a solid 3D piece. So now move this out of the way. And now we can get started on our pieces that are going to subtract from it. We now no longer need the height line, so we could delete that. Now select all of the lines that make up one of the small triangles and use the join command to turn it into a 3D polyline. Now we are going to use the extrude command to extrude it out so that we can physically subtract it. So if you just hit enter now, it will be extremely long. The extrusion will be extremely wide. So I recommend using a smaller number. I would recommend something along the lines of 10 for this, even though that's still pretty large. Now, using the mirror tool, we are going to mirror it onto the other corners of our drawing. Now that that's done, all is left is to make another extrusion from the top so that it will cut off the top of the pyramid. We will now make another 6x6 square using the polyline tool. Now I suggest making 2 more guidelines so that we know that we put it in the center of this top square over here. So if you wish to do that, you're going to draw over from the base point 3 and then up 4. We will now move this, the 3D polyline, onto that endpoint right there. You can now delete those guidelines if you wish. Now we will extrude the new square that we just moved up there. I'm going to do 25 again because we know that the pyramid cannot be 25 in height. So now all that's left to do is to move the pyramid back. So I would suggest switching views so that you can properly see the whole triangle. You can do slight rotations if you really need to. And make sure that you move it onto the corresponding piece of the wireframe. So now we are going to use the subtract command. So you will now enter subtract, select the pyramid because that's the piece that we want to keep, hit enter, and then select all of the pieces that we want to subtract from it, which would be those 3 pieces and this piece. Now hit enter. This is now our 3D solid. Now all that we have to do is make this hollow and give it a thickness. Now there is a tool that we can use that makes this very easy. It's called the shell tool. It is in the solid tab. It's called shell. So click on it. Click on the 3D solid which we wish to use. In this case, it should be the only one here. So now it's going to prompt you to remove faces. I suggest going into the top view and clicking on this top piece, because in this drawing we want the top and the bottom removed. So we're going to click on it, and then we are going to go to the bottom and click on it. Be very careful when doing this because if you accidentally select the wrong face, it will remove it from it and it will be very wrong. Now that that is done, hit enter and it will prompt you to enter the offset distance. Now this is very important. If you want to make this 3D solid that we made the interior dimensions, you will have to make the offset distance negative. In this case, we do want to do that. So for this drawing, I'm going to make mine negative 1/8. So there will be a 1/8 thickness. So I'm going to enter negative 1/8 and enter. And as you can see, it is now slightly larger as the interior is the 3D solid which I just made. I'm just going to pivot around for you a little bit so you can see that this is truly hollow, and this is exactly what we are looking for. That concludes part 2 of 3 of our video. In our next video, I will actually be showing you how to construct the lips, and then we will be done. Thank you for watching.